don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I said don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Hi and welcome to Ukulele Robert, and in this session we're going to be looking at playing reggae on a ukulele. So the good news is it's just all about your strumming hand. We don't need to worry about changing anything on our chord hand at all. But we do need to think about how we hold the ukulele. And when I'm playing reggae, I hold the ukulele by bringing my arm across the back, keeping it in line with the strings and the neck. So in fact I'm kind of parallel with the instrument. And the reason that's important is it allows maximum flexibility on my wrist and fingers, which I really need to play the ukulele rhythm well. So onto the rhythm. So I break that down into three parts. I've got what's called the downward strum, the dampen, and then the upward flick, followed again by the dampen. So let's first of all look at the downward strum. Let me play a few for you first. And what you'll probably notice is I start by having my fingers balled up into a fist, and then I flick all of my fingers down across the strings so they end up splayed across the instrument with all my fingers stretched out like so. So like this. And a good way to think about this is if somebody asked you to flick a coin across the table, then you'd probably put your fist down flat on the table and you'd push your fingers out to push the coin across. And that's exactly the same technique I'm using with my downward strum. It's important to start with the fist and to ensure that the hand is fully stretched out across the instrument and my hands are then dampening across those strings. So if I didn't dampen, the sound would be like this. So the dampen is a really important piece of reggae. It's what gives it its distinctive sound. So let's move on into two, which is the dampen. So straight after the downward strum, I need to then dampen the strings. And I'm going to use this soft part of my hand here and ensure that it lands on the strings, all four of the strings, somewhere between the bridge and the sound hole, though it doesn't really matter. What's more important is that you get the dampening and it's quick. The other thing you'll notice is as I stroke my fingers down on the downward strum, you'll just see my arm turn very slightly towards the end as I go and rest that soft part of my hand against the strings. But it's very fast, so like this. You can just see my arm turning there. For any of you who've got the video controls, you could probably slow it down to half speed so you can see it even clearer. And it's important to keep practicing that so you get that immediate dampening, because that's what gives that distinctive reggae sound. Now once we've got the first two parts, you can actually start playing reggae on the ukulele. Like so. But to add variation, we want to introduce the upward flick. Now the upward flick is what I would bring in towards an end of a bar of a piece of music, or halfway through, or sometimes to emphasize. It's really down to you as the musician to interpret the music as you feel fit. So I'm going to show you now, just play a few bars, and I'm going to bring in the upward flick at the end of the bar, like so. And the way we play the upward flick is, as we've done our downward strum and we've dampened, our hands flat across the instrument like so, I simply then, just with my fingers, stroke back up across the strings like so, nice and gentle, and then I dampen again immediately. So, like so. And so now you need to work at bringing all three together. So downward strum dampen, upward flick dampen. Downward strum dampen, upward flick dampen. So when we bring that all together, we then have our reggae. You will notice that I'm using the flexibility of my fingers as well. As you get more used to it, then you can start to use, you know, dexterity in your fingers to start really alternating that rhythm between, you know, louder and softer. And that kind of works really well, as you can kind of develop that as time goes on. So there you have it. That's how to play reggae on a ukulele. If you feel you've gained anything from this session, then I'd really appreciate if you press the like button down here. Even better if you could subscribe to my channel. That would really help out. Thank you. In between time, let's play a little bit more reggae. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds perched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, singing, this is my message to you.